Hi everyone. This is the next segment on the punctuation series. This time we'll be focusing on two yet another pair of important punctuation marks, the semicolon and the colon. These are the rare ones that you may be so curious to learn how to use. Yeah, just one trivia though. I've read elsewhere that if a writer uses the semicolon often, that's a mark of ingenuity. You know what I'm saying? It means really, you have the potential to be a genius, or you already have a genius. It's just that it's untapped. But anyway, it's just for fun why I'm saying it. Don't need to take it seriously. Good writing stems from the appropriate use of these marks. Now, let's get on topic. The first punctuation mark is the semicolon. Now, how is it different from the comma and the period? Well, it calls for less pause time and it's less final than a period. Yet, it marks the end of a group of words called independent clause. So, when you read and you see the semicolon, just pause half the time you would when you encounter a comma. So that's one reading tip here. Now the semicolon also adds up to your cohesion. Remember cohesion? If you forgot, please view I haven't made a segment yet for coherence and cohesion, but to review you, cohesion refers to be smooth flow from one sentence, word, or paragraph to another with the use of conjunctions or transitions. The semicolon is used to join independent clauses as a substitute for coordinating conjunctions. Depending on your style, there will be times that you want to drop the fanboys. If you do, you may substitute them with the semicolon to maintain cohesion. Look at this. May celebrated her birthday with a delicious cake and we all ate several pieces of it. As you can see, the coordinating conjunction and the comma are still present. But take a look at the next. And disappears and the comma transforms to a semicolon. So that's one basic use of the semicolon. Another thing, these marks should only be used for related independent clauses. So if your clauses are not related, do not attempt to apply this rule. Okay? If these two clauses cannot be considered related, might as well use a period instead. My favorite dinner begins with a steaming bowl of pea soup. I wonder why mother isn't home. What's the connection, right? So two unrelated clauses. You might as well have used a period there. But in this sentence, we can see that the two independent clauses are interrelated. So which coordinating conjunction do you think was substituted with this semicolon? Yes, it must be for, because for also conveys reason. Semicolons can also present contrasting ideas, just like the coordinating conjunctions but and yet. It can also act the same way as but or yet, like in this sentence. We may also use this when there are three or more independent clauses in a sentence. This rule is very applicable, especially when you enumerate the objectives of your research paper. And also if you want to save some space in your writing, especially here when using semicolons as a substitute for coordinating conjunctions, you may write them in the same line. You may write the in the independent clauses in the same line as long as you have enough space, as long as you apply this rule. Use a semicolon to join independent clauses separated by either a conjunctive adverb or a transitional expression. Now, how does this go? We use conjunctive adverbs or transitions like therefore, however, etc. And we use them more often in the middle part. Now, if that's the case, we use the semicolon. Like this one. Consequently is the conjunctive adverb is placed in the middle, and we use the semicolon and the comma to mark it. Okay, same observation, but here, however, the conjunctive adverb is not immediately placed after the semicolon. Instead, is in the middle of the next clause. Now, if that's the case, set it off with the use of two commas. But we still retain the semicolon to set off the initial clause. And take note, both clauses are independent. Dependent clauses or subordinate clauses, they have another case. But if both are independent, then you set them off with the use of the semicolon. Consider the use of semicolons to avoid confusion when independent clauses or items in a series already contain commas. There are times when one independent clause contains at least two commas or more. And using so many commas in your sentence can confuse your reader. So here's how you can address that. We use semicolons. Here, you can see that there are two commas used in the first clause. However, you spot the coordinating conjunction. Yes, in this scenario, we use both the coordinating conjunction and the semicolon because we want to avoid the C word confusion. So this is the special rule. Whenever you use at least two commas, you set them off with the use of semicolons and the appropriate conjunction. Items in a series may also be separated by semicolons, especially when the items themselves contain a number of commas. Now, the semicolons help make clear where each complete item ends. Now, when you enumerate items, you would want to add descriptions for each. Like in this example, my garden consisted of yellow squash. The description, which were running wild along the ground. Beans, which were growing faster than I could pick them. And strawberries, which were already ripe enough to eat. As you can see, each item has an extension, starting with which. Therefore, you set them off with the use of semicolons. Also, another reason is there are a number of commas used in this paragraph. So all the more you should use semicolons to avoid confusion. Now, as an exercise, please answer this interactive drill. Just click the link found in the description below this video. Please answer the one with the label semicolon exercise 2 because 1 and 3 already touch on the other punctuation mark. Now, I don't want to preempt you. That's why I'm asking you to answer 2 first. So when you're done, come back to this video for the next segment. So stay tuned as we discuss the use of the colon this time. The full colon, not the half, but the full colon. So thank you for watching and see you in the next upload.